Hello, everyone. Well, it's looking stormy tonight in northeast Oklahoma, and it's looking increasingly likely that we're going to see some severe storms as well. But during the day today, very little is going to be going on. Now, I do have to mention for the rest of the morning a few showers, but I mean just a few. I do think the vast majority of us are staying dry, but until noon, I'll mention a chance for some stray showers. But by noon, any stray showers that are around are going to be out of here. And it looks like the afternoon hours are going to be completely dry. Hottest part of the day, probably going to be right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to be topping out upper 80s, low 90s, right where we should be for the middle of June. Not going to be much wind today, no more than 10 miles per hour. Now, beginning at 8 o'clock, I will bring back the rain chance, but I do want to stress at 8 o'clock, the rain chance is low. Notice how this model says still completely dry in northeast Oklahoma at 8 o'clock. That is a possibility. So yes, there is a rain chance beginning during the early evening hours, but honestly, I do think most of us are going to stay dry during the early evening hours. Now, let's jump ahead to 11 o'clock, and boy, does the story start to change. So we're looking at a line of storms coming in with a cold front. It looks like that line of storms will start to cross over I-35 about 11 o'clock this evening. As far as the stormiest period in Tulsa, right now it's looking like 1 a.m. And look at those dark shades of red. So heavy rain and lightning, you bet. But unfortunately, looking increasingly likely that there is going to be some very strong winds in this line. I mean, we're talking about wind gusts 40, 50 miles per hour being common, but possibly some wind gusts stronger than that. Also, hail, I think the strong winds are going to be most common, but there's certainly a possibility for hail as well. Now, we're going to jump ahead another 2 hours to 3 a.m. It looks like by 3 a.m., see those dark shades of red along I-49? That's where the damaging wind and hail would be. So by 3 a.m., it's clear of us. But obviously the rain is not clear of us. So behind those strong storms are going to be lingering showers and weak storms, which means, because it's just not one solid line, but quite a bit of activity behind the front as well, there is an outside chance for some flooded roads as well. But by 3 a.m., yeah, the threat for damaging wind and hail coming to an end. So let's keep going forward here. Now we're going to talk about Father's Day Sunday. Now, 8 a.m. Sunday morning, look how things have significantly quieted down. Now we're just talking about isolated showers and maybe a couple of weak storms, but mostly showers, but definitely isolated activity. And for Sunday, it definitely looks like the best chances in the eastern part of the area. So a greater chance of seeing some lingering showers and storms east of Tulsa than west of Tulsa. And really the best chance of rain in Tulsa for Sunday is probably going to be during the early morning hours, certainly morning in general. Now, could there still be some stray showers in the afternoon Sunday? Yes, but we're talking about a really low rain chance. The majority of us will be dry, it looks like, in the afternoon. The clouds will be breaking up, and I do think maybe still a shower or two 4 or 5 o'clock, but by 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, completely dry, probably looking at mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow will be cooler because of the cold front, not a huge cool down, but a little bit below normal for this time of year, topping out in the low to mid 80s, a light breeze, gusts around 15 miles per hour. So if you have any dinner plans with Dad for Father's Day, looking completely dry, but even in the morning, we're just talking about isolated activity. So a decreasing rain chance through the day on Sunday, but even in the morning, not a whole lot going on. So let's bring it back to the main story, the severe threat. And we're going to leave a window for severe storms in northeast Oklahoma from 10 o'clock this evening to possibly as late as 4 a.m. It looks like the peak of the activity around 1 a.m. So probably nothing going on early evening hours, but between 10 o'clock this evening and 4 a.m., definitely looking stormy. Heavy rain and lightning are going to be likely. And unfortunately, it looks like these are going to be strong storms, which means wind gusts 40, 50 miles per hour, those are looking common. But the biggest concern is that we're going to see gusts 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour. I do think that's going to occur in spots. Now, 70 mile per hour wind gusts are not going to be widespread. That's going to be 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts, but some 70 mile per hour wind gusts in spots, yes, that's a possibility. So the strong winds are what we're most concerned about with this line of storms. Now, hail, I think that's going to occur as well, but I don't think it's going to be as common as the strong wind. I think we're certainly going to see some pea-sized hail, some penny-sized hail in spots, But I'm going to leave in a chance for golf ball size hail. I do not think that is going to be common, but maybe in a couple spots some golf ball size hail. That's a possibility. Tornadoes. It's a really small chance. Could an EF0 or EF1 spin up a short-lived one? Yes, but the chance is real low. And then as I mentioned, on the backside, after that main line comes through, there's going to be the lingering shower and thunderstorm activity. So there is a chance of flooding as well. Not a high chance, because most of us are only going to see an inch of rain. But there are probably going to be a few spots that pick up as much as 3 inches of rain. And where those 3-inch totals occur, yes, some flooded roads are possible.